Ever feel like your brain has too many tabs open? Like you're stuck in a mental traffic jam, replaying every mistake, every awkward conversation, every possible future disaster? We all get trapped in the labyrinth of our own thoughts. We tell ourselves, if I just think about this a little more, I'll figure it all out. If I can just anticipate every single problem, I'll be safe. But what if I told you that the very thing you think is protecting you is actually the cage that is holding you captive? The cure for overthinking isn't more thinking. It's action. Think about your favorite anime heroes. When the world is on the brink of collapse, when the final boss is laughing maniacally, what do? Do they sit in a corner and weigh the pros and cons for 6 episodes? Do they create a detailed spreadsheet of every possible outcome? No, they act, they move, they charge forward, often with no guarantee of success, driven by something far more powerful than intellectual certainty, purpose. Take someone like Naruto. He was constantly underestimated, ostracized, and faced with impossible odds. If he had stopped to overthink every negative comment, every failure, he never would have left his apartment. But his dream of becoming Hokage wasn't a thought experiment. It was a driving force. That goal propelled him into action. He trained, he fought, he made friends, he failed, and he got back up again. His movement, his constant forward momentum, was what silenced the doubt both from others and within himself. This is a recurring theme we see everywhere. From Monkey D. Luffy setting sail with nothing but a dream and a straw hat, to Eren Yeager joining the Survey Corps despite the overwhelming terror of the Titans. They all have one thing in common: they didn't wait for fear to disappear before they moved, they acted in spite of it. And in doing so, they discovered their fear was just a shadow, and the only way to make a shadow shrink is to walk towards the light. Overthinking is essentially a state of paralysis caused by fear. It's the brain's attempt to control an uncontrollable future. We analyze, we strategize, we ruminate, all in an effort to avoid pain, failure, or embarrassment. But here's the truth: you can't think your way out of a feeling. You can't logic your way out of fear, you have to move your way out of it. Imagine you're scared to talk to someone new. You can spend hours in your head, scripting the perfect opening line, imagining every possible rejection. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, your brain is screaming danger. But what happens if you just walk over and say hi? Maybe it's awkward, maybe they're busy. Or maybe, just maybe, you have a great conversation. Regardless of the outcome, the moment you took action, you broke the spell. The monster in your head, the overthinking demon, lost its power because you proved it wrong, you moved, and you survived. You didn't just think about it, you lived it. This is the secret that anime heroes understand instinctively: movement creates clarity. You do and find your purpose by sitting in a quiet room and meditating on it for a year. You find it by trying things, by helping people, by joining a cause, by picking up a sword and seeing if you can swing it. Action is a form of information gathering that is 1,000 times more effective than speculation. When you act, you get real-world feedback, you learn what works and what doesn't. You discover what you're good at and what you enjoy. Your thoughts become a response to reality, not a prison built from hypotheticals. Overthinking is also a form of delayed action. It's procrastination wearing a philosopher's robe. We tell ourselves we're being careful or strategic, but most of the time, we're just scared. We're delaying the potential for failure by never starting. But in doing so, we also delay the potential for success, for growth, for connection, for everything that makes life worth living. The perfect plan doesn't exist. The perfect moment will never arrive. The only thing you have is right now and the choice to move. Think of Deku from My Hero Academia. He was born without a quirk in a world full of superpowers. He could have spent his entire life in his room, analyzing heroes, taking notes, and dreaming of a life he could never have, and for a while, he did. But his defining moment wasn't a thought, it was an action. When he saw his friend in danger, he didn't think. He ran, his body moved before his brain could tell him it was a stupid, useless idea. That single, irrational act of courage is what caught the eye of All Might and set him on the path to becoming the world's greatest hero. This isn't to say that thinking is bad, of course not. Planning, strategy, and reflection are crucial. But they're the co-pilot, not the pilot. Action should be in the driver's seat. The pattern of an overthinker is think, get scared, and do nothing. The pattern of a hero is act, learn, adjust, and act again. The thinking happens in the spaces between the action, informed by real experience. So, how do we apply this in our own, less animated lives? It starts small. The next time you find yourself spiraling, caught in a loop of what-ifs, I want you to do one thing: move physically, get up and walk around the room. Go outside and feel the sun on your face, do 5 push-ups, wash a dish. The physical act of moving your body breaks the mental pattern. It pulls you out of your head and into the present moment. Then, identify the smallest possible action you can take towards the thing you're overthinking. Scared to start that big project? Don't think about the whole thing. Just open a new document and write 1 sentence. That's it. Overwhelmed by cleaning your messy room? Don't think about the entire disaster. Just pick up 1 piece of clothing off the floor. The goal is not to solve the entire problem in one go. The goal is to break the paralysis, to prove to your brain that movement is possible. This is what I call the 5-minute rule. Whatever you're dreading or overthinking, just do it for 5 minutes. Set a timer. Tell yourself you can stop after 5 minutes. More often than not, you'll find that starting was the hardest part. Once you're in motion, inertia takes over. But even if you do stop, you've won. You took action. You fought the beast of overthinking and landed a blow. Remember, you are the protagonist of your own story. And the best stories are never about the characters who thought the hardest. They're about the ones who, when faced with uncertainty and fear, chose to take that first step. They chose to move first and think later. They understood that you can't steer a parked car. You have to be in motion to direct your life. So the next time your mind starts spinning, ask yourself, what would Luffy do? He wouldn't sit there. He'd go find some meat or punch a bad guy. The point is, he'd move. Your life isn't a chess game where you have to calculate every move 20 steps ahead. It's more like an improv dance. You have to feel the rhythm and move with it, trusting that you'll find your footing along the way. Stop waiting for certainty. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. Take a page from your favorite heroes, stand up, take a deep breath, and take 1 small step forward. Move first, the clarity will follow. Your adventure is waiting, but it won't start until you do. Thanks for watching.